Hello. Hello, hello, hello. My face is a little oily. I'm hurry to get it out there. They'll show up. Sorry, it's just a little oily. My face. Ooh. Hello, chick with the crown. How are you? Hello, hello, hello. We got to catch up on Diddy and Meghan. I want to do, what's his name? Proper Wise Guy. We need to catch up with him. I'm ready. Hello. Hello from Hello Pauline. Hello Magic. What happened? Because chick with the crown looks different. Snow Job looks different. I was watching the replay from last night, and I'm still pissed off about those that you supported 1 million. Oh, thanks, babe. Can you do something to the alarm?
Oh, yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
going off every 10 minutes.
Is it every 10 minutes now?
It's happening a lot. I've turned off 4 or 5 times already today.
Oh, wow.
We have to take the batteries off. Yeah, chick with the crown. It was weird. Who's Cordelia? It's Cordelia. Hi, Cordelia. Why did YouTube change you guys' name? My name, what is my name looking like? Oh, I don't know. All right, guys, let's get to it, okay? It is interesting. It does look weird this way. I don't like YouTube doing this. Don't do that, YouTube. Hello, welcome, come in. They're closing arguments. By next week, we should know Diddy's fate. Isn't that something? I want to give a shout out to Danny Robinson. Go check her channel out. Official King Payne. Shout out to him. Happy birthday. It was his birthday yesterday.
Closing arguments in the
Closing arguments, guys. I know it's got something in it. Okay. No.
it says Team Royal. That sucks. So, guys, can we change our name? Interesting. Okay, let me put you guys on the screen. Let's do this. Let's do this. Fair Use Act of 1976, codified in Section 107 of the Copyright Act, allows for limited use of copyright materials without permission from the copyright owner. It provides a legal framework for, can't get it all in there. Hello, AT2. Hello, how are you? You want to come up? Let me know. I'll drop the link. AT2 just gifted 5 members. Oh, look at that, guys. Thank you, AT2. You're such a sweetheart. Let's put some hearts and flowers and roses in the chat for AT2 for gifting us 5 gifted memberships. And if you were gifted, please make sure you thank him personally. Oh, thank you, AT2. Okay, I'm going to come over after this if you're still live. Let's go over and watch AT2 after my live. My live shouldn't be that long. I'll remind us at the end. Let's go show AT2 some love. And Snowdrop, when you get a moment, can you put his link in the chat? And I'm going to start off with the hearts. And 2 kisses. Thank you. Thank you for showing me some love, AT2. I really appreciate that. So nice of him. Yeah, AT2 come over bearing gifts. That was so nice. I have a wedding video. You guys can check it out. It's only 10 minutes long. It's not that long. In my members page. So I got a few things in there for you guys to take a look at. Here's AT2's link. Check him out. He's the godfather of YouTube. Can you guys hear that music in the background? Yes, of course, of course. Check out AT2, the godfather of YouTube. He's got some great content. He makes you laugh. He's entertaining, and you won't be disappointed at all. Magic Me. Yeah, you were dictator, sweetheart. Thank you, AT2. That's what he does. I'm doing this right.
The godfather of YouTube? They gave you some. He's not nice, Shirley. You don't think he's nice. I don't even know what he said half the times when he's talking about me. I don't know. I don't know why they're changing our names. Guys, it's really weird. I wonder if we can change them back. Because I'm Team Royal. Edit. I'm going to change it to Lady Letitia. So what you do is you go in your channel, go to your channel. Hello, Nicola. You go to your channel and you hit the edit button at the top and you can change your name. Oh, they did? Shirley, what did he say? He must have said something he wasn't supposed to say. Yeah, I saw it. Oops.
Whoops, sorry about that.
No, you're fine. That's hubby.
It's calm now.
Little bit of sleep. So I'm trying to do this before a little bit wakes up. Hello, Tune the News. Hello, Jane. I know YouTube changed our names. I don't know why, but they did. I'm trying to change it. You're welcome. I turned it up. It's not working. See, let me show you where you go. Okay, your page, go to your YouTube page, and then right here, you click on that button right there. And then your name is up here. Mine's on the second row. Here it is, Team Royal 50. So you go over here and hit that button again. Hit that button and then try to type your name in. The name that you want. And it says you can change it. I'm having a hard time changing mine. Done. Saving it. So hopefully that works out, guys. It's not working. That's right, Magic Mike. Maybe that's it. All right, let's get to the Diddy crap.
The federal trial against disgraced music mogul Sean Combs begin tomorrow. and he's already going into it winning.
Snowdrops work.
Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything Diddy drama. In a letter filed to Judge Subramanian, the prosecution informed him that the federal government, who is accusing him of trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution, are going to be removing 3 aspects of their case and no longer pursuing them. They are attempted kidnapping, attempted arson, and aiding and abetting trafficking. These alleged acts were included in the government's racketeering conspiracy charge, which is count 1 in the indictment against Cassie's ex-boyfriend. The racketeering conspiracy now still alleges that he was involved in transportation for purposes of witness tampering, bribery, and drug-related offenses. Quote, the government is no longer planning to proceed on these theories of liability, so instructions are no longer necessary, prosecutors wrote to the judge. The government understands the court's desire for streamlined instructions. With that in mind, the government has suggested ways to streamline those instructions. Specifically, the government has removed instructions for the charge relating to attempted kidnapping under both California and New York law, attempted arson under California law, Kid Cudi, and aiding and abetting
Chick with the crown. Girl, you are funny. When does school start again? Oh, that messed with my funny bone.
Trafficking. The kidnapping charge related to Capricorn Clark, his former assistant, who testified in this trial that he forced her to go with him to go and hunt Suge Knight.
What?
Scary. He was armed and very dangerous. The jury is off today, but the prosecution and defense are meeting with the judge in court to go over jury instructions. Diddy is also facing trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution charges related to his former girlfriends, Cassie and Jane. As of now, it's unclear which elements of the aiding and abetting sex trafficking charge will be abandoned. However, prosecutors are not backing down from their argument that just because women give consent to acts, that does not mean they can't later change their minds. And just because an individual receives compensation does not preclude a finding of forced labor, which relates to trafficking. So, to wrap things up, closing arguments tomorrow and Friday, and the jury is expected to begin deliberating on Monday. No clue how long they will take. As I've said before, I think he will be found guilty of some charges and not guilty of other charges. So it will be a split verdict. That is what I think. What do you think? Let's discuss everything in the comments section.
If you are on your laptop, it goes, you got to click on customize. Okay, I think I fixed it. Publish.
No, it's not changing it. I may have to wait, like Demon Dictator said. All right, let's go to Proper Wise Guy. Let's see what else Diddy is doing. I think we got one more video of Diddy. These are the closing arguments.
Closing arguments began today. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything Diddy drama. The prosecution in the federal trial against disgraced music mogul Sean Combs did their best today to convince the jury across 5 hours that he should be found guilty on all charges. Before we get into what happened in court, I want to share with you Aubrey O'Day, whom many of you know as one of Diddy's proteges. She was in Danity Kane. She also was this close to going to law school before she pursued her career in music. Aubrey is very smart and, like me, has been following this case daily. O'Day was just asked by Entertainment Tonight her prediction, and this is what she has to say.
Your prediction once the jury deliberates?
I would say they definitely have him on possessing people on 2 of the charges. I believe one of the sex trafficking charges, yes. The other one, no. I think Rico's gonna come back home.
What is especially frustrating is I've been saying this as well. I have, for a while now, been predicting guilty on some charges and not guilty on others. But he will still do substantial time behind bars.
Ooh.
Unless, by some miraculous chance, he's acquitted of all charges. Christy Slavic was the prosecutor for the federal government who made the case today in the closing arguments. He is the leader of a criminal enterprise. He doesn't take no for an answer, and now you know about many crimes the defendant committed with members of his enterprise, she told the jury. You heard all about how the defendant again and again forced, threatened, and manipulated Cassie and Jane to have sex with escorts for his own entertainment. He used power, violence, and fear to get what he wanted. It was his kingdom. Everyone was there to serve him. In great detail, she walked the jury through the federal government's 3 charges against him. She asserted that all of the evidence, when tied together, showed beyond a reasonable doubt that Diddy was guilty of 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. She argued that Diddy used his closest associates, his employees, to force Cassie and Jane into his drug-fueled freak-offs. The prosecutor argued that Diddy's underlings carried out an array of crimes to make him happy, including kidnapping, arson, and bribery. He was able to get away with it due to his money, power, and influence. And that stops now. It's time to hold him accountable. It is time for justice. It is time to find him guilty. I hope so. Throughout closing arguments today, the prosecution leaned on the testimony of a woman who didn't know many details of their case, forensic psychologist Dawn Hughes. As a blind expert, Hughes wasn't aware of the particulars of the government's case against Diddy and spoke instead about patterns in how victims of physical and sexual abuse respond to their abusers. She talked about love bombing and trauma bonding, and helped to explain the many reasons why Cassie and Jane and his former assistant Mia, another one of his victims that he raped, they didn't walk away from him even though they had the means to. The whole psychology behind that, I think it was a very, very important reminder for closing arguments. For the first time in weeks in court today were Diddy's daughters.
Oh, no.
Thankfully,
No
they were
spaces.
spared the majority of the gruesome details and disgusting days
No spaces.
of testimony from victim after victim after victim.
Thank you, dictator.
And escorts. To that point, Slavic said a lot of evidence was hard to hear. They changed the
charges?
Hard to see, she told the jury.
Why are they changing the charges? Because they realized they couldn't get him on those other charges? That is something. It's almost like they are trying to find something to arrest him for, and it's looking weak to me. You know, he is a bad person when it comes to womanizer. You know, I get that, but did he actually do anything that was really illegal? Help me out, guys. What did they change? Perez probably just said it. We probably need to rewind Perez. Let's rewind Perez.
Asked by Entertainment for everything Diddy drama.
Okay.
The prosecution in the federal trial against disgraced music mogul Sean Combs did their best today to convince the jury across 5 hours that he should be found guilty on all charges. Before we get into what happened in court, I want to share with you.
Okay, guys, so check this out. When you go in to change your name, you can't put any spaces in there. I didn't know that until Demon Dictator just told me. So if you try to go change your name where I told you to go change it, it's all one word. So thank you, Dictator, for that. And they've changed the charges of Diddy's case. And it sounds like to me that they are trying to change the charges because the ones that they're charging him with is not sticking. Interesting.
Aubrey O'Day, whom many of you know as one of Diddy's proteges, she was in Danity Kane. She also was this.
Hello.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, Demon Dictator. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you all?
We're doing great. Did you hear what happened to Sunflower yesterday?
I watched the replay. Oh my goodness. I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah, she doesn't sound well.
I believe, and because I think she's already told everybody, but I think she's been diagnosed with the big C because she was talking about having chemo. And so I think she's just having a terrible time, and I think she's just really scared and angry, and I think she just lashed out yesterday. So
at first I didn't think it was Sunflower. At first I thought it was someone pretending to be Sunflower, but then she started explaining things a little bit more. I was like, that's Sunflower.
Yeah, so I think she's been diagnosed with the big C, and I think she's just scared and angry, and she just lashed out. I think this was her little place that she used to come and talk about the royal family, which is her little
getaway.
Yeah, a little getaway from all the stress of it all, and because it's turned into something else, which is not your fault. It's your channel. You can do whatever you want with it. And I think she just lashed out a little bit.
There's always a situation Oh, Dictator, I got an echo going. Do you got me playing in the background?
Oh, hold on. There we go. Can you hear me okay?
Okay, yeah, that's better. Well, it's still echo. Maybe come in, go back out, come back in.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, now what's your name? Oh God, I can't even pronounce that. I am sorry. Mark may have just handed Diddy to the belly of the beast with that underwhelming performance. Mark who?
Close to going to law school before she pursued her career in music. Aubrey is very smart and
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, that's much better. Thank you. Sometimes StreamYard does weird things.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark is Diddy's lead lawyer. What did he do wrong?
So I was going to say just about if anyone in the chat, if you see Sunflower around, just give her a bit of kindness. Don't mention anything that happened the other day. Just give her a little bit of kindness. Just be kind to her. She's just having a terrible time. That's all.
Yeah, I think she's just having a really hard time. And
she just snapped. That's all.
Snapped because she took it out on everyone.
Yeah, she doesn't mean it. She loves this guy. She loves this channel.
She doesn't mean it. I didn't think so. My husband was asking about it too, and I was like, "What do you know about Sunflower?"
No, she's just having.
Yeah. The closing arguments was poor.
Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to give the cat a drink. 1 second.
Oh, sure. Okay, this is a trip that they're changing the charges because they realize that the charges that they were going after aren't really sticking. Can they do that? The whole case is weak, Snowdrop. This whole case is weak.
So what I understand, and this is just my understanding and my interpretation, so I might be completely wrong. Because I was listening to a lawyer on Popcorn Planet who was explaining everything. So I might be wrong because this is just my understanding. Is originally they charged him with attempted, trafficking, kidnapping, and X, Y, and Z, but it was always attempted and various bits like that. And in the court case, they actually proved it. With all the testimony and all the evidence was given, they actually proved that he had done these things with all the testimony. So they changed it from attempted to kidnapping charges because they were able to prove it.
Attempted kidnap charges.
Yes,
who did he kidnap?
Sorry?
He kidnapped someone?
Yeah, so they did a lot of it was attempted this and attempted that, and because they proved it, they were able to do it was kidnapping, and he did do these things. So they took the attempted off and did kidnapping.
That's a bunch of BS.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. Go back to what that lady just said. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. So they did the racketeering charges, arson, kidnapping, trafficking, and they just took attempted aiding and abetting and the conspiracy language out of it. That's exactly what it was. So instead of attempted kidnapping or aiding arson charges. They took all of that off, and it's just kidnapping, trafficking, and arson. Very clear, straightforward.
Oh, the arson is when he set that guy's car on fire.
Yeah, because they've been able to prove it all in court.
Okay.
With the evidence, they've taken all the attempted
arson. He don't go to jail for. You can go to jail for arson.
Yes, you can.
You
So
sure
yeah,
can. You sure can.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You've hit the nail on the head.
This is so weak.
It's not. It's really not. They've proven it all.
Really?
Yeah. They proved. I mean, I don't know how long he's going to get.
They're making it seem like he picked up some kids and was trafficking them. You know.
But that's what he was doing. He was taking for them across state lines for parties, and he was paying for them.
But they went willingly. They wasn't forced.
But no, he paid for them. So he paid for their services. Right. So the workers, he paid them a certain amount of money to go for these parties, but he was taking them across state lines. So that is trafficking. So that is trafficking, and also some of the girlfriends who, like Cassie and certain people, they clearly said no. Like Cassie was, no, exactly. As the packet, it's not a dismissal of charges. It's a strategic move to make the jury's instructions clearer and more efficient. Spot on. You said it better than I.
Okay.
Yeah. So no charges have been dropped. They've just been changed to make it very clear, to make it simplified. So people like Cassie, who you clearly showed them running away on a video, running away from a party, and he dragged her back in, they're clearly saying no.
Wow. So Tropical Life. Oh, go to your main page, and at the top where you edit it, you can edit your name. Thanks for that. Thanks for helping me out with that, Dictator.
And you have to do it all one word, no spaces.
No spaces, all one word. Wow. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you think that Diddy is guilty on all charges. Put a 2 in the chat if you think he's guilty on some of the charges. Put a 3 in the chat if you think that the prosecution did not rest their case. Okay, a 1 in the chat if you think he's guilty on all charges. 2 if some of the charges. Hello, JBZ. And 3 if you think he should be acquitted on all charges, or believe the prosecutor didn't do his job. Oh, we got some 2s, 1s, and 3s. Demon Dictator.
Yeah, I mean the how much court jail time he's going to spend. I mean, people sitting there, he's going to go back for life. He probably won't go for life. Some people say he might just get 10 years or something. But because they only had, I think in some cases like the trafficking, they only had to prove it once. Some of it they had to prove. Some of them they only had to prove it one time. So even though he did multiple parties all over the world over 10 years, they only had to prove
for each party.
No, they only had to prove it one time.
Okay.
So he could do 100 parties, but as long as they could prove he did it once, that's all they need to do. Like the racketeering, I think they had to prove it twice. So yeah, they only had to prove, there was only like 1 charge or 2 charges. So they only had to prove it once or twice.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but he might only get 10 years. They're all going, he's going to get life. Probably not. he's probably going to get 10 or so years. It's not going to be a massive jail sentence.
I'm gonna call you A because I don't know how to pronounce your name. But A says Diddy paid $100K in a security guard for the surveillance footage in a signed agreement barring the guard from speaking. This is evidence of obstruction and justice of bribery, enough for a RICO.
Yeah.
Wow. It's the mafia law. So even though it may have seemed like the women were willing, it was the threat to life, jobs, etc., that made them do what he wanted.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
Mm.
See, like Kathy, she was dating a man, and he went over to that man's house and set his car on fire.
Yes, he did.
So there was they could have said no, and they could have escaped, but it was, and also his mum, he tried to release the tape, and she had to take 20 grand on top of her house to pay to Diddy. You know, there's massive things going on
Yeah.
here.
He was doing some real, bribery, manipulating her constant through fraud, not genuine choice. Jane was defrauded, hence she was sex trafficked. Oh, no, I get it. Sorry. I've been following the case and I act like I don't know.
It's complicated. And again,
really complicated.
Yeah. And they only have to prove one time, or in one, like sex trafficking one time, the RICO racketeering 2 times. It's actually quite simple, but they just got to prove these charges. And now they've changed the charges to make it more simpler. I think he's going to go to jail, but it might just be like 10 years or something.
Sunflower came on yesterday. She was upset and she said some things to me in the chat while she was upset. But I think she's going through a health scare. And Demon Dictator thinks it's the big C word. And
she said she's fighting for her life right now.
Yeah, she's fighting for her life, she said.
Yeah.
And so I think she just lashed out out of that particular reason. But I don't think she meant it. I really don't.
I don't. I don't think so.
If someone is manipulating, threatening, what's your real name? Are you Cheryl? If someone is manipulating, threatening, or pursued into doing something, especially through fear or harm, that's coercion. It makes any supposed consent from Jane and Cassie invalid under the law.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let's see what else Perez is saying.
And like me, has been following this case daily.
Yes, we all do, JB.
O'Day was just asked by Entertainment Tonight her prediction,
comes back.
And this is what she has to say. Okay.
Your prediction once the jury deliberates.
I would say they definitely have him on possessing people on 2 of the charges. I believe one of the sex trafficking charges, yes. The other one, no. I think Rico's going to come back home.
What is especially frustrating is I've been saying this as well. I have, for a while now, been predicting guilty on some charges and not guilty on others.
Oh.
But he will still do substantial time behind bars. Unless, by some miraculous chance, he's acquitted of all charges.
Which one is that, Nicola? Is Nicola talking about the
Christy
one?
Slavic was the prosecutor.
The Kinsley Schofield video of the body language guy.
Yeah, that's a good one. We should do that. That's
okay,
really
we'll do that. We'll do that after this then.
Okay.
That was AT2. You got to check him out. He's the godfather of YouTube. He has his own channel. And if you don't know who he is, JBZ, you can definitely go thank him. He would like that. He would appreciate that. Okay, you posted it in my Discord. Oh, my phone's dead. Okay, we'll pull it up, Nicola.
Prosecutor for the federal government who made the case today in the closing arguments. He is the leader of a criminal enterprise. He doesn't take no for an answer. And now you know about many crimes the defendant committed with members of his enterprise, she told the jury. You heard all about how the defendant again and again forced, threatened, and manipulated Cassie and Jane to have sex with escorts for his own entertainment. He used power, violence, and fear to get what he wanted. It was his kingdom. Everyone was there to serve him. In great detail, she walked the jury through the federal government's 3 charges against him. She asserted that all of the evidence, when tied together, showed beyond a reasonable doubt that Diddy was guilty of 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. She argued that Diddy used his closest associates, his employees, to force Cassie and Jane into his drug-fueled freak-offs.
A chick with a crown. Yes, Snowdrop was really rude yesterday. I didn't know how to react or respond to her. I just pretty much told her to come back when she's feeling better or in a better mood. I hope I said that. But I was really shocked by her demeanor. And I think it's interesting to know that she was upset because of other reasons, not really at me, but or us, towards us. But yes, it is my channel. I can talk about what I want and what's important to me. And if people don't want to listen to what I have to say, they can just not watch this episode. And yeah.
The prosecutor argued that Diddy's underlings carried out an array of crimes to make him happy, including kidnapping, arson, and bribery.
Ooh.
He was able to get away with it due to his money, power, and influence.
Yes,
and that stops now.
How many people are out there?
It's time to hold him accountable.
Probably not all the things that he's doing, but how many people in Hollywood are kind of on the same boat he's on?
Oh, many.
And getting away with it.
Most of them, I think. But they're all running scared now because he's just the tip of the iceberg, I think.
Yeah. I have a wedding video in there, JBZ, if you guys want to check that out. I got a few things in the members. Me and my husband did a video once. We haven't done one recently, though.
It is time for justice. It is time to find him guilty. I hope so.
And to answer your question,
throughout closing arguments today,
I
the
would not have been on
prosecution
YouTube.
leaned on the testimony of a woman who didn't know many details of their case, forensic psychologist Dawn Hughes. As a blind expert, Hughes wasn't aware of the particulars of the government's case against Diddy and spoke instead about patterns in how victims of physical and abuse respond to their abusers. She talked about love bombing and trauma bonding and helped to explain the many reasons why Cassie and Jane and his former assistant Mia, another one of his victims that he raped, they didn't walk away from him even though they had the means to. The whole psychology behind that. I think it was a very, very important reminder for closing arguments. For the first time in weeks in court today were Diddy's daughters. Thankfully, they were spared the majority of the gruesome details and disgusting days of testimony from victim after victim after victim and enabler and escorts.
Wow.
To that point, Slavic said a lot of evidence was hard to hear, hard to see, she told the jury. The defense... I don't know. I'm going to keep that in because that was funny. The defendant ran his criminal enterprise with total control and with the loyal assistance of his inner circle, foot soldiers, personal assistants who knew their one job was to say yes to the defendant. All of this paints a clear picture of how the defendant committed crime after crime for 2 decades, how he didn't take no for an answer. She kept repeating some of the most important parts, wouldn't take no for an answer over and over again. The defendant counted on silence and shame to keep his crimes hidden. He thought that his fame, wealth, and power put him above the law. But over the course of this trial, his crimes have been exposed.
Hello, Darcy.
The prosecutor made a good distinction that when she was talking about the enterprise that facilitated his criminal activities, she was not referring to his company or businesses. The enterprise is Diddy and this trusted inner circle, Slavic said. And it existed to serve his needs, and what he said went. Oh, so happy she did this. Then the prosecutor showed the jury a photo of Christina Coram, his former chief of staff, describing her as one of his most loyal lieutenants and a co-conspirator. Coram knew where the defendant was and what he was doing at all time. She made the defendant's life her life. And she...
I wonder if they're going to get the assistant next. You know,
did she give evidence?
She was,
if she gave evidence, she would have had a plea deal. If she hasn't given evidence, they may go up later on.
Yeah, she hasn't given any evidence. And so she has not given a plea deal. So she's out there. Yep.
Well, they should, after what she's done.
Yeah, she was an enabler. She was a co-conspirator.
Yeah, she facilitated him doing all these things.
There we go. Yeah, Nicole said no, she didn't give evidence. I would have been trying to.
I would have taken a plea deal.
Yeah, I would have been like, look, all immunity. Yep. He had me up in here too. I was scared of him too. How do you know she wasn't like that?
Yeah, I'd be sitting there crying, hysterically crying, lying on the floor. Yeah, I had nothing to do with it. You put a gun to my head.
Oh, Darcy said that the prosecution's Christy Slade did a good job.
He said yes to everything he wanted. The prosecution also accused Diddy of obstructing justice in their closing, reminding the jury that Cassie sued him in civil court in 2023, which he swiftly settled, and he worked to neutralize 2 of the people who could damage him the most, Jane and Mia. But this time, paying people off with $100,000 in a brown paper bag was not an option.
Wow.
The prosecutor said that he was the boss of every member of his inner circle, and he was in charge. Over time, the members of the enterprise would change a bit, but Diddy was always there. He was the through line, and the other members worked with each other and with him throughout the entire conspiracy.
Thanks,
we were reminded of Capricorn Clark, one of his many victims of forced labor, his former assistant, who was terrified that what would happen to her if she didn't do what he said, including going to confront Suge Knight while he was high and armed. Wow. They talked about his drug distribution. Quote, he fed his victims drugs for years, and you know he didn't get those drugs on his own. He used his enterprise. The prosecution reminded the jury of how Diddy bribed the hotel security guards to get the footage of Cassie at the Intercontinental in Los Angeles. That footage, which was shown so many times throughout the trial, and so many people helped him to acquire that footage. And here we are, all these years later, decades later, and the jury is set to begin deliberation on Monday. I've said what I think is going to happen. Aubrey O'Day said what she thinks is going to happen. I'm curious, if you're watching this video, I think you've been paying attention. What do you think is going to be the result? Let's discuss that and everything in the comments section.
Well, most of the people in the chat has stated that he's guilty on all charges. And like maybe one or two said some charges, and one person said no charges. So it was an interesting outcome for that.
I think we're going to find him guilty on all, because he's just a very dangerous man. You don't want him walking the streets. You don't want him out. And the retaliation against these people that he can do if he comes out is huge. So I think it's just in their best interest, the jury, to take him down. Personally.
So do you think he would go back out there doing the freak offs again now that he didn't got in trouble?
Yes, and I think all those people that he gave evidence who gave evidence against him, I think he'll come after them as well.
Then he'll just go to jail.
Well, yeah, well, they'll come after him again, but he's a dangerous man. He's a mentally ill man. If he's capable of doing this stuff in the first place, he's going to people's houses, setting their cars on fire and trying to throw people off balconies and threatening to release sex tapes.
Above the law.
Exactly. He already feels that he's above the law. And if he gets away with it, can you imagine how more dangerous he's going to be? So I think it's in their best interest to take him down.
People would learn their lesson.
Yeah, well, that's what this mental illness is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They only need to find him guilty on two of the RICO charges.
Interesting. Okay, guys, we're going to switch over from Diddy. I may come back later on tonight, and do a Diddy update. It just depends. Next week is the verdict time. So whenever we do get the verdict, we will be discussing it and having our own little Diddy reveal. You know what would be cool? If we all were online, during the jury's selection. I mean, jury's answer. Yeah,
that'd be good.
Right. I don't know if I can all have it at the same time. I would have to set it up, have it on a news station or a station that's going to be showing it or telling it, and then
because you get a warning, they've made a decision. So it's not like you've got to sit there on the telly. You'll get a warning, they found an answer, and then they'll come out.
Okay. Yes, exactly. Okay, now we're going to move on to Kinsley Schofield and the body language guy. He's going to break some stuff down to us. We're going to find out who's narcissistic and who's not. I'm sure that when he breaks this down to me and explains to me what kind of person Meghan is, I'm going to see some similarities in Maggie too. I really do believe that.
This was a very, very good video. Very good.
Oh, wow. I'm excited. Okay, let's get to it.
Something's not right about that guy, and I just don't know. Because you'll ask me, why don't you like him? I don't know. But you wait a day or two, and they'll be in the shower or they'll be driving, and it'll hit them why they don't like that person.
Let's go back to the beginning.
That's real. It won't be just something, just because I don't. They'll see what it is.
And we're back to the beginning.
He's the one that I believe.
And you took one for the team and you watched Meghan's latest podcast interview. You are a body language expert, and I have to applaud you and apologize at the same time for this latest Meghan Markle podcast episode, or appearance, I should say. Can I ask you right off the top, it's Emma Grand, I think is how you pronounce her name, versus Jamie Kern Lima. Did you, I felt a sense, and maybe Meghan is catering to the different audiences she feels like these women have, but I felt like I was watching two different women between those two different interviews. Meghan's a little more confident in the Emma podcast, in this latest podcast, a little more defiant. And in the Jamie Kern Lima, she's soft. She really wants you to like her. Oh, I'm just so sweet. But there's more of her trying to be a girl boss in the latest episode. Am I reaching there?
You're exactly right. In the first one with Jamie Kern Lima.
Jamie Kern Lima.
In that situation, she's kind of she's trying to kiss her hind end, in other words, because she's the one that I believe, from what it looks like to me, she's probably helping her with this, and she's maybe funding some of it, of her as ever stuff. So, and I think she's sort of being her mentor. And so she's loaded and lives down the street from her. So she's trying to keep that bond really happening. Whereas she goes to this other interview and she's supposed to be showing how, well, I'm an entrepreneur too. I've done all these things. I'm in charge. I know how to do all this. So you're seeing somebody over there that's supposed to be acting like she's friends with Jamie Kern Lima. So you see that the whole, we're just relaxed and being authentic. And, with this one, it's supposed to be business, so that's the way she's acting. So you're seeing two different personalities, but she's chameleoning herself to be palatable toward Jamie Kern Lima, and the same thing for Emma. So it's fascinating to watch because you're actually seeing what would look like two different personality types, but it's the one person. But since we understand that personality type, we'll know that she'll try to mold herself to be like Jamie Kern Lima. That's why she would talk like her and try to look like her and say the same thing she was saying. And this other one, she's doing the same thing, but taking on a different posture and a different delivery. Like you were saying earlier, her voice tone is stronger. There are some of those hmms in there, but not quite as many. There's no hind end kissing really on the other one, like there was in the first one.
That's so something you just said. Her positioning herself as an expert in the second podcast, in the one that recently came out, she makes some comment about when she's specifically talking about the podcast, because she says it's going on hiatus. I'd love your opinion on whether you feel, based on what she said, if it's really going on hiatus or if this is just her trying to downplay, not continuing to pursue this podcast. But she says she's taking a step back from the podcast or putting it on pause because of recommendations, because of suggestions from some of the women she spoke to throughout the process of the podcast, and how she needs to focus on one thing. But she also says, like, advice from other people, advice from myself, like to ensure us that she is also an expert who gives herself really good advice. I cringe in those moments. Were there any takeaways for you when it came to her discussing the pausing of the podcast? And have you noticed that a lot of, sometimes even our criticism of her, it feels like she tries to explain those things away in these interviews. She finds moments to try to discredit some of these reports.
She does. She tries to discredit some of the reports that come out about her, like her being a bully and her being. Is that little bit? Little bit's up. She tries to just, to pretend or make believe or try to discredit away things that happened to her, like the orchard. We decided we needed a bigger, more broader name. So we decided to go with As Ever instead of Orchard Riviera. You know good and well you want to go.
Yeah, she uses it to clap back. Whatever anyone criticizes or says something, she uses a podcast to clap back and say, oh, no, that wasn't true. That's not correct. Yeah, she does.
Exactly.
Well, that's probably the reason she did the interview. if you look at
Yeah.
it from that way, because
Yeah.
the most important thing, let's assume she's a narcissist, a clinical narcissist. That's what they tried. The worst thing that can happen to a narcissist is you can damage its ego. So once that ego is damaged, they'll do everything to make that work without. And in this case, she can't be mad or angry toward these people. She can't do anything bad to them. Whereas people in her personal life, in her little circle, she would do bad things too, talk bad about them, treat them badly, those kind of things. But in this situation, I think she's sort of there's a problem. She's trying to make it look like there's not a problem. So she's saying this is something I've decided to do, so it doesn't hurt her ego. So they're really fragile.
Hello, Mary.
Because at the root of a narcissist, they can't stand themselves. They don't like themselves at all, and they want everybody to like them.
Mm-hmm.
So
they can't stand themselves, but they want to like them. That's interesting. But we can't stand you either. We don't like you.
Yeah, she can't self-reflect, so she can't see what people don't like about her and change. Okay. She just carries on and go, why don't you like me? Why don't you like me? Instead of self-reflecting.
Rub you're seeing there. That's why you're seeing the two different things. So she'll mold herself to fit in with Jamie Kern Lima, and then she'll mold herself to fit in with Emma. So,
but she doesn't fit in.
They look like two different personalities on the top, but down at the bottom it's the same personality type. The high-end clinical narcissist.
Oh, I mean, it's just so uncomfortable to watch. For you, these highs and lows, or this chameleon type of thing, do you think that you are saying it quickly and because this is what you do for a living, or is it so blatant? Because I often wonder this: are her actions so blatant that a normal person would recognize this, or are there people that are going to fall for it and be like, wow, she just gets along with everybody, she's just like everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a great question, because the reason that especially women, and there's a reason for this, and so hear me out, I'm getting to it, don't like her or feel weird when they watch her. They go, I don't know what it is about her I don't like, but I just don't like her. The brain takes in all kinds of information, takes in everything that your eyes see. Your brain takes in that information and it sorts it out and decides what you're seeing. Now, there's a difference in a woman's brain and a man's brain. Men take in information really quickly, these little chunks of it, and we think we know everything. That's why we think we know everything, because we have what's called a gut feeling. We get a gut feeling from all these things, all this information we take in. However, that happens very quickly. With women, what happens is this. Their brain is set up differently, so it takes in the information in these big groups. There's this thing called the fusiform gyrus. It's about a 1/4 inch in, right in here. And then that takes in all the little movements and things that you see that happen with somebody's body language or in a situation. Then you have the mid-temporal gyrus just below that, and that takes in all the big movements, all the big things that happen in a person's body language or in a situation. Now, once those things start grabbing that information, it goes back to this thing called the mucus ceruleus in the back of your brain, at the brainstem. It's about as big as a BB. And it starts sorting through all that information and going, have I seen this before? Will this hurt me? What does this look like? Is this something I've heard before or somebody else say that was bad for me? Those kind of things to check the threat of what's happening, and other things as well. But that's, in a nutshell, what's going on. And for men, it happens very quickly. And that little bit of information we get, it goes back to them and say, oh, here's what this is. But with women, they get the details. And that's why it takes them longer to decide what happened, because you'll hear women say, I don't know why I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
Something's not right about that guy. And I just don't know. Because you'll ask, well, why don't you like him? I don't know. But you wait a day or two, and they'll be in the shower or they'll be driving, and it'll hit them why they don't like that person. It'll be something that's real. It won't be just something, oh, just because I don't. They'll see what it is. You all, women, see what it is, whereas we don't see that right off. It takes a while for us to learn that.
That's interesting. Yeah, you'll just be in the grocery store and you're like, I know exactly what it is. He reminds me of so-and-so from 1996 that I met in a Walmart parking lot, whatever. All right, so Meghan says in this podcast that she struggled to get work because she was a mixed race actor. I mean, she met Prince Harry because she did inevitably find some success as an actress. What did you feel when she said that? frustrates me when she says this stuff, mostly because I think, look at the blessed position you're in today. Why not focus on how lucky you are today to be where you're at, versus dwelling in the past and also dwelling on something that might have been your own insecurity and not necessarily the truth. There might be and you've got an entertainment background too. There's no casting director that's ever come forward and said, I didn't hire her because she was mixed race. I mean, it could have sincerely just been she wasn't good enough, or she wasn't the right girl for the role. Sometimes it's just you were made for a role and you get it. Like I think she was for Suits.
Yeah. And and the reason she goes back and visits those things, especially the good parts. So Mom's a great actress. I did this, and I did that. It's because again, it dealing with the ego. We all deal with our own egos, and the story you tell yourself is the best version of you, period. But in her situation, she keeps going back to the same ones over and over and brings those up and can find a place to spot those, sit those in almost any situation when that conversation starts.
Yeah.
Here's my story, bang. Here's this that goes with it, bang. So it's almost like a protocol she follows, which is normal for a narcissist of that level.
Now, one place where my BS meter really went off was when she's talking about how her children are privileged and the way she teaches her children about, the value of money is that they garden together, they plant the seed, they watch it grow. And then she kind of claims that they erect a booth at the farmer's market so that and that is just something we would read about in the National Enquirer or Star Magazine. You know what I mean? I have a really hard time believing that that's the truth. Do you have any, or did you see anything specifically when she's telling the story about how she's teaching her children the value of money through gardening and through this produce?
That's just the story she's telling to make herself look good.
Yeah.
I don't think she's ever put up a booth there, because they take pictures of everything. They take pictures when it looks important to them. When she looks goofy dancing around the hospital room, one of the most personal and intimate times of your life, having a baby. A lot of people will show you videos and pictures from that, but nothing like that.
Oh my gosh, that is such a great point. It's not just the National Enquirer that would tell us, it's Meghan Markle. Mm-hmm. We would have seen the booth. Also, I mean, I imagine that when you go set up at the farmer's market, you've got to call ahead. You have to, yeah. There are some procedures that you have to follow. And but that is absolutely hilarious. Meghan is her own paparazzi. You are right. She would have had those pictures all over Instagram by now. Like, she took the pictures of the giant bag full of produce that everyone said, there's no way that's from your garden. Corn isn't growing right now.
Yeah. But that's what she would do. She wants you to see her doing these wonderful things for her children and other people. So you'll think she's a good person and she's nice and she's wonderful. Mm-hmm. That's the root of that clinical narcissist.
That's so weird. Meghan says she's proudest of investing in herself. She says, it's been so many years since we came over here, talking about California. I do think it takes a little bit of courage to bet on yourself. And that's felt really good. I mean, it's not that hard to bet on yourself when you have a royal safety net. She knows that people line up to work with her, whether she has a history of failing or not, because of her proximity to the British royal family. Does she think that other female entrepreneurs are buying this?
She's hoping they will. When it comes to entrepreneurs, I was the entrepreneur in residence at the Nashville Entrepreneur Center from 2011 to 2017. And all I did was work with the new startups there and CEOs and taught them how to pitch and showed them what pitches were made out of, worked on their body language to make sure they were believed. If they were a good person, I'd make sure that was first, but make sure they could be trusted and they could get along with anybody within the first couple of minutes they met them. And women will come to see her and listen to her because they think she's successful. No matter what's happened, she does look successful, even though
I'd love to secure a prince, Scott. I'd love to secure a prince.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? So I wish one of my buddies was, so I could, that'd be great. But so that's what they're looking to her for leadership. If they're going to her, they're going to her for that leadership. And that's the position she's trying to put herself in, is a position of leadership. So, because if you listen to what she's talking about things I'm not so sure she's familiar with. That's why I suggested you talk to Michael Bertram.
Yeah, I will.
Oh man, because he'll be able to set you straight on
But you
all
are
that.
my priority, okay?
Oh, thank you. So,
but yeah, when she says things like skew or Q4, you can tell that she is trying to utilize specific language to convince other people that she's in this world that I don't really think she, like you said, that I think it's all an act, because the reality is everything's been so messy. All of these launches have been so messy that who in their right mind would consider it a reasonable strategy?
Well, she's the CEO, so she's supposed to understand everything in that company, from finances to distribution, to how much it costs to get that product made. Where is it? How many do we have? She should be on top of all of that. And what she's talking about, and I think Michael will say this if you end up talking to him, you'll see she's just brushing over those. She's parroting what she's heard other people say. And they say, be sure you cover this, and this, because she has those little talking points. But I would venture to say she can't go very deep on any of them, because I don't think she's the one in charge. I think she's the one that sends her, goes, oh, it's me, and this is my company, and I'm the CEO. And you go, yeah, right. And you have everybody else doing the work. And they understand that. The people under her will understand that. She's just the forward-facing branding for the company.
Right. This is an important one, okay? So the host asks Meghan, if you could rewrite your public narrative from scratch, is there anything that you would do differently? And Meghan responds, and I'm so curious about her body language here, because to me, I felt a defiance. Yes, I would ask people to tell the truth. Blaming others yet again. I saw a great interview with Madonna a few days ago. It's an old interview, but it stumbled upon my algorithm, where somebody says, is there anything you would do differently? And she said, absolutely not. Otherwise, I wouldn't be right here with you right now. And I thought, what a great answer. And that really should be the attitude Meghan Markle takes, especially if she claims she's in this pursuit of joy. She's chasing joy right now. That seemed like some bitter resentment. I would ask people to tell the truth. What did you see when you watched that?
Again, and I hate to keep saying it goes back to the narcissistic personality type, but that's what we're seeing. You're seeing all the classic red flags and things we look for, the cues of a narcissist. When you start saying, it's really tough to call it. For example, if you're dealing with psychopaths, you can see one and say, oh, well, this person sure has a lot of the hallmarks of a psychopath, but you can't say they're a psychopath for sure. It's a little easier with narcissists, because you can't just spot one. You have to listen to them and see what they're saying over a bit of time, because 1 or 2 interactions, 3 or 4 interactions, you can get a pretty good idea and say, oh, they're narcissistic. But being a clinical narcissist is a completely different thing. But having seen all of her the behavior she's exhibited over the last few years, all she's doing is protecting that ego. So everything, what you're talking about, is just protection of the ego. That's all that is. So when if she feels a threat by something, then she'll bump up against that to stop it or correct it, or to start getting back at it. And then when everything's gone, then she'll start her attack on the person who
start
hurt her
attacking that
ego or
person.
brushed up against her ego.
Did you
or her ego
see, or did you feel like there was any sort of
Can you see that in Meghan though?
Oh God, yeah, sure. You even say one word against her, or what she perceives one word against her, it's attack. Literally, she's how many staff?
Constructive criticism. She doesn't take it as, oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong. No, it's you that's in the wrong.
Yeah, and she got under attack. How dare you criticize me? She just can't take it.
Interesting.
discomfort with that question, or did you feel like she was prepared to answer that question?
You see a combination of both, because she didn't want to get into that. I don't think that would be I would the way it looked to me. I don't think she wanted to get into it.
She's trying to avoid it.
Someone was asked. That's why you see her. She gets real still for a second, then you'll see her move a little bit, and then she starts using adapters. These things we do to get rid of that built-up stress and tension. So I think her legs are crossed in that point, and you see her move in her seat. So she adjusts her torso and in her sitting position. And that's a way when it's like when somebody puts a hat on you, you have to adjust the hat. Even though it's on there, it's not going to be much different, but you have to touch the hat or your glasses or whatever it is. Same kind of thing. When somebody asks a question like that, they become uncomfortable in that way. That's the same kind of feeling. It's the only way I've ever been able to explain it. So they have to adjust and almost reset to start answering that as that information comes in and deciding whether is this attacking me or is this good for me?
Okay,
So depending on
Carissa.
what road it goes down in her brain, that's the reaction you'll see as she gets prepped and gets ready.
Yeah, because this interview, now they're never going to put themselves in front of Harry and Meghan, anyone that actually challenges them. But this interviewer did seem to ask tougher questions.
I thought she did pretty
I do
good.
think that they were all likely approved. I don't see Meghan putting herself in a position where, and then they kissed her butt throughout, teasers where you don't see Meghan's face, but she spills some tea and it's like special guest coming soon, spilling the tea. I mean, Meghan knew she was in a safe place, but it was the first time that I felt like she was asked some ooh, is she really gonna answer that questions? But I think she still knew she was in a safe place. In the same segment, Emma says, do you ever get angry? And Meghan says, peaks and valleys. My dear friend Serena, talking about Serena Williams, she told me years ago, a lie can't live forever. 8 years is a long time, but not forever. Now I saw someone else say that Emma interrupts to talk about how great Serena Williams is.
Yeah.
And Meghan kind of almost recoils, and they don't know if it's whether Meghan was annoyed that she was interrupted or if Meghan is annoyed that attention is on Serena's success and how great Serena is. And I don't know if you saw the reports over the last few months, but at one point, Meghan got into a tiff allegedly with Anna Wintour because she wanted to knock Serena Williams off the cover of the American Vogue. So did you see any body language there when she's talking about her dear friend Serena, aside from like the classic like name dropping,
That's what she
kind
does,
of
name drop.
Well, when you're dealing with, let's say somebody is famous, they have a certain amount of fame or a certain amount of heat on them. You have two people. I think that's one of those things where she's trying to she knows this isn't the greatest thing in the world. Two things are happening, just what you mentioned. The attention is being taken off her, and Emma's talking good about not her enemy, but the person who brushed up against her ego, even though she was the one that attacked her, if you want to call it an attack, by trying to knock her out of the spot for the magazine. I can't believe I'm talking about this stuff. But anyway,
Scott, our resident Vogue expert.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, Meghan said, but so that's what she's uncomfortable because that's her world right there. That's everything. She knows how to get in there and do all those things, but she doesn't want to attack anything in there because you're dealing with a real entrepreneur over here. Mm-hmm. I think Emma, the way she talks, the way she sounds, I think she might be the one in charge of what she's doing. I could be wrong. Yeah. It seems like she knows everything coming out of her mouth seems solid. There's no apprehension when she comes to talking about
the real deal. Anything. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she also works with Kim Kardashian's company Skims, which exploded. This truly is the real deal, which I always say when we see Meghan in these positions, and this is my personal opinion, when we see Meghan in these positions, I don't believe it's because Meghan's earned the right to be there selling her loose fruit spread. I think that Emma sees the value in having Meghan Markle on her podcast because it increases Emma's, it increases her visibility when it comes to the mainstream media, because otherwise you and I would not be talking about this woman, and talking about her resume and what she does and dropping a Skims reference. There's something in it for her, and it might just be exposure, and it might just but she might introduce herself to new listeners that continue to stay on her journey thanks to this one event with Meghan Markle. But I don't think that Meghan has necessarily earned her place on the panel through her hard work and hustle. I still think whether as ever is even has any sort of longevity whatsoever, I think that's still up in the air.
I would think so, considering that the last time she put whatever she opened her, and I think it opened actually today, as what I think somebody was talking about it and said it was going to open on the 20th. And so I think it actually started today. But the first time, if it's taking that long to restock and re-get your stuff together and make a plan and then decide you're going to do it again, somebody's not in charge there. She's not in charge of it. If she was going to be an entrepreneur, they would as soon as possible after they'd sold that stuff out, they're going, hey man, we sold this out in an hour.
Right.
Okay, let's get on the phones. Let's get this stuff
And let's
restocked
get
as
just
fast as we
pre-order.
possibly
Like
can.
all you have to do is pre-order links. Pre-order links. Just throw, you know, say sold out, puts up some.
It doesn't make sense. It just sounds like a big failure. It really does. Because what business owner is going to be upset or all flustered when their product has been sold out? They're going to be excited to sell out so they can make more products.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Absolutely true.
Pre-order links, and then not only can people sit back and feel confident in the fact that they've got their hands on it or they're going to get their hands on it in the future, behind the scenes you have a better understanding of what type of supply you need. I mean, none of it makes sense to me. Let me move on to this one. Meghan says it's okay to say no. It's okay to say I'm not comfortable answering that. It's okay to pivot and to really get to the place where you don't feel like you have to explain yourself. And I think that comes with time, maturity, work, support surrounding you. She adds, but also to be authentic. I don't think there's any value either in being so rehearsed and just having your talking points. Just talk. First of all, this is a woman that quit the British royal family after 17 months. We know she's capable.
She has talking points. It's boring. It keeps her at a one note, a one level. Someone that can't expand themselves. So you never really get to know that person because they're rehearsed and acting.
It just keeps them safe. It keeps them in a safe place that they don't have to be, asked any probing questions.
Exactly. Why did you call the royal family racist? Hold on.
Of saying no. So it's like, that's not breaking news, but I'd love to know your reaction when you heard that soundbite from her.
When she started talking about, now a pivot is when you're doing one thing and the decision is made to do another thing. You say, in our business, we pivoted from let's say we're instead of selling stuff to companies, we've decided to sell to individuals, to individual customers. So you pivot from that over to this. I don't think she understands what pivoting means in the terms of being an entrepreneur.
It's not like you go from a duchess to selling jam. That's a pretty extreme pivot, Meghan Markle.
Yeah. And you wouldn't, and I believe she sees that as a pivot, and it's not a pivot. Earlier when I was talking about, I can't believe I'm talking about this. I can't believe I'm talking about something I have no information about. The depth of my information on her is really, as you know, is really shallow.
I'm trying to help. I give you, I give you the gossip.
I know, but when I'm saying something, it's like, well, all this has happened. I just feel like, because usually I'm the person that knows all about what I'm talking about. When it comes to those things I don't know. So that's why if I look a little bit apprehensive and iffy on this, that's why. But so when she's talking about pivoting, when she's talking about a lot of these points she's making, I don't think she understands the depth of those things, of what the meaning of those things are. I'm sure she understands what, the Q2, Q4, the quarterly. I don't think she gets into the quarterly earnings, though. I don't think she looks at those things. I don't think you could find anything in her house that would show her the way her business is doing or how well it is or isn't doing, other than an email saying, it's not doing good. Or it's doing great, but we should do this. We should do this, not like, here's what we're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Those emails should be coming from her to everybody else saying, okay, here's what we're going to do next. Here's what's up. We got to do this. We got to have a meeting. She would have time to be doing all this if she was really running a business like that, especially one that sold out that quickly. Somebody with all this heat and all these people that are looking at her, you would not have time to go to Disneyland or Disney World with your kids. You would not have time to sit around and say, I'm going to think I'll put this up when I was pregnant in the hospital.
4 years
supposedly
ago.
pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, for you. You don't have, that's not what's on your mind. And you don't have that weird smile on your face all the time because you're thinking about your business and making that thing do as well as it can, as good as it can possibly do. That's all you think about. That's
No.
all you should be thinking about as a CEO.
You're right. And just to your point, I know you're not familiar with all of this, but to your point, like she said in a podcast with Beyonce's mom one day, I think I'm going to pause on as ever. She also said it to Fast Company a few days before that. I'm going to pause on as ever. I want to see what it could really be, which we're like, you've had 5 years to define this thing. But then days later on Instagram, she announced that she's restocking. And it's like, to your point, if she was really in charge and if she really knew what was going on.
What does that mean? She's flippy floppy. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not stable. Oh, I'm not going to restock it.
That's what they're saying. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's not in charge of the business. She's got no control over it. She has no idea what's going on. And she just, she's not in charge of it. So you've got people in the back going, she's gone on telly going, she sold this jam. It's not done very well. People have got no refunds. People are not getting the stock that they need. There's a lot of people complaining now, and they've had to go quick. We need to get some more supplies in because people have realised it's a scam. A lot of people got scammed out of money. A lot of people say they now or people know. There's a lot of people, they didn't get refunds. They didn't get replacements. A lot of people complaining they've had to go quick. Let's try and repair it. Let's get some stock from somewhere. Let's put some more jam in place. Try and get these customers the replacement products, things like that. It's a panic. They've gone into a panic and they've tried to do something.
Right.
But it goes to show that she's just all this. Oh, I'm in charge. I say this. I'm the CEO. I'm involved in everything. Goes to show that she's not involved in anything at all.
Right. Like I just want to be named, I just want to be named a CEO or founder of some jam or founder of someone. I don't really want to do the work.
Yeah. It goes to show she's not involved in it at all. She's got no involvement in it at all.
But just like previously he said that God, I forgot. That she went from a duchess to a jam maker. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, a pivot.
It's very embarrassing. Like you were a royalty. It'd be different if you wanted to make jam on the side just for fun and for charity reasons. No, she's doing this all for profit. And not just profit, but it's just not something that a real duchess would do. Run around on Instagram twerking and making jam and trying to be relevant. It's really something. It's really something to watch, guys. It's really interesting to see a narcissist.
The downfall is amazing. From top of the world to rock bottom.
Right, RC 117. It's really something. Yeah, she's not looked at as this philanthropist, this wonderful, like she comes across as I'm this wonderful person. Look what I've done. Look at my resume. Look at me. Aren't I great? I'm just wonderful. I've done all these wonderful things and look what I've accomplished. No, that doesn't bring success to me. It's bringing failure.
Yeah, but the problem is she opens her mouth on these interviews and proves that she's not in charge at all. She proves that she doesn't have anything to do with the business. She can't explain anything. She can't explain any bit of the business. She can't explain what she does, what her job is. She can't explain anything. And she just goes and ruins it all.
Right, exactly. I'm not gonna, if it was red wine, I would get it. Or maybe I could just buy
Going
a
on
bottle
deep
of her
down.
wine and just share it with everyone. But
You can
I'm not
taste it.
into the flavor. Yeah.
That's basically what she is, Debbie. She's just a spokesman. She's just the face of the label, but she's got
Right.
nothing to do with it. She's got nothing to do with it at all.
She has nothing to offer, nothing to present, nothing. She's given us nothing. Lemonado's gone, as ever has one more episodes, and all she has is Instagram now. She came out like she was going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff in 2025. It took you 3 to 5 years to come up with As Ever and some jam.
10 pots of jam. That's all she had. And some tea that she bought from a different company and charged 3 times the price for it.
Some tea and some flour sprinkles. It's really embarrassing.
Down, there would not be this mixed messaging, extreme mixed messaging to tell Beyonce's mom, I think I'm going to pause As Ever until 2026 because I want to figure out what it is. And I'm not going to release anything else.
That doesn't make sense. How are you going to figure out what is? It's already, if you have to figure out what it is, you should have figured that out in the beginning. You don't figure it out at the end. You don't figure it out afterwards, after you launch, after you decide. No, you're trying to see if this jam is even worth doing. And
that's the problem. She released a load of jam and it was destroyed. It got ripped to pieces and she's gone, oh my God, no one likes it. What have I got to do now? That's what she's done.
Yeah. Like, what do I do with it now? Do I make more? Do I continue with it? I don't want to do this anymore.
Highly sensitive, fake-a-do, jam-a-do.
Hello, highly sensitive.
Fake-a-do, jam-a-do.
Fake-a-do, jam-a-do. Yep, that's what she does. She chases clouds. She name drops too. She loves to name drop. Oh yeah, and Serena and Tyler Perry and Oprah. She can't say Tyler's name too loud. But here's the thing, Meghan. He's your daughter's godfather. Meghan was an influencer first, then Duchess, allegedly now back to being an influencer. Come full circle. Exactly.
Yeah.
She's come full circle with Instagram, the TIG thing. Now it's As Ever. It's really, 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 really looking bad for Meghan. She doesn't have anything going for herself, and it doesn't put her in an A-list status as much as she would like to be an A-lister. Hollywood, royalty, that's what she wants to be. But Hollywood don't want her.
And then days later say, surprise, I'm restocking. That makes you look unstable. That makes you, look like you are lacking in credibility. I think that you're exactly right. She's not exactly sure where she stands when it comes to the day-to-day aspect of this business. Now, I have reported over the last few weeks that Meghan was resentful that the royal family, she felt like the royal family was making money off of her. You walk around the gift shops and there used to be postcards with her face on them. And there is a comment she makes in this latest podcast episode that almost confirms in my heart that truly was how she felt, that she could walk away from the royal family and create something similar, like their Buckingham Palace soaps and lotions. She's talking about fashion and she says, you start to watch, because the host says you're a fashionista, why aren't you in fashion? She says she's not good with fashion.
Her
No,
clothes don't really ring fashion to me. It rings,
not even ironed. They're not even women ironed their clothes.
yeah, they don't fit right. The
Yeah.
fit is off. She may have had a handful of clothes that's been cute, but the rest of them are like, why did she put that on? Where's she going? Remember that sweater she had at Kevin Costner's? I didn't care for that. She
She
looked
looked like she looked like she was wearing a horse blanket.
right. Yeah.
Blanket with a belt around
In
it.
California. Yeah, it did look like a horse blanket. Fake-a-do, jam-a-do. Highly sensitive.
To watch how it's being monetized at such a huge level globally, oftentimes not giving credit to the brands and the designers
Perfume is
who
a good
actually
idea,
made those pieces.
RC117.
So it's a fine line between, well, do you want to spoon feed who the brands and the designers are when it feels promotional?
Exactly.
When I have no skin in the game in any of those arrangements, she doesn't like. To me, I was like, so she does not like when she feels like people are making money off of her and she's excluded.
That's not her vernacular. Those words and that sentence structure is not in her regular vernacular and sentence structure. If you'll listen to that and look at that, she doesn't say things like spoon fed. She doesn't say things like that. Never has, up as far as I know. And I've been watching a lot of that lately, so we could talk about things like this. That's out of what we call her baseline. She doesn't talk like that. So somebody else has said, "Here's what you say." Did she say this, or was it written down?
No, she said this during the podcast interview. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. So somebody's told her to say that and they've said that over and over and said, here's what you cover, here's what you say. Because she doesn't say things like what you just said. That doesn't sound like the way she talks.
No, that's not how.
So
Well, she also, what I thought was interesting, also complains about people monetizing her children's wardrobe. But in the last, well, since she, I guess it was around March or April when she launched her Instagram account and her affiliate links, she started selling clothing that William and Catherine's children were wearing.
Wow.
And getting kickback from that through affiliate links. Isn't that odd to you that she would speak out about people making money off of her children's clothes while she's now making money off of William and Catherine's children's clothes?
See, I thought about that when I watched the show the other day and you were talking about that.
She said that people are making money off her children's clothes.
Yeah, she did in the interview. Yeah. Well, they're not, because we don't see the kids' clothes.
We don't see the kids, and not to talk about the kids' clothes, but I didn't really see the only outfit that I liked, or only thing that I thought that was really cute, was her red shoes. But every time she dresses Lily, she seems like she's not dressing her. She's dressing her in dresses all the time.
Yeah, she's trying to dress her like Charlotte. She's
right. That's not how we dress in America. We wear dresses, don't get me wrong.
On special occasions and
right.
Yeah. Not every day.
Special occasions. Like Christmas, New Year's, or something like that. Yeah, I don't think she's good with fashion, even with the kids. I mean, I'm just not seeing the cutesy little clothes because, oh my God, I love dressing my baby. Like, she's like my little doll.
Yeah. Yeah, but on special occasions. Otherwise, just let them get dirty and run around and get dirty.
Right.
Jeans and t-shirts.
That's one thing Kara doesn't have to worry about is clothes. I think I just went a little cuckoo as a mom, just trying to make sure she had, enough clothes. But I got to give some stuff to the charity. The clothes, just pack them up. I've been packing up the medium size, because now she's in extra large and large. So any perfume, I think a perfume would have been better, RC117, that instead of the JAMA scam.
Everyone's got perfumes.
Yeah, you did say that.
Everyone's got perfume.
Oh, thank you, Hottie Sensitive.
And so that shows she's not in charge of that either, because she's not sitting there on the bed with her knees up with Harry sitting right here while he's reading or watching TV or something. She's going, here's what I'm going to do now. She's not the one doing that. Somebody else is doing it. And they didn't think about that because they're thinking, okay, what can we sell? Okay, we can do this. And didn't run it past her. I think there's a lack of communication where that's why it looks so out of control, because it's this big weird ball rolling down a hill instead of a golf ball that's been hit, to hit a precise place. You're looking at something just big and wobbly and out of control. So I think that's part of it. Nobody's in charge, and she's not the one doing it, so she probably wasn't even aware of that.
Kara's birthday is next week, Saturday.
Oh,
Yes. And I want to thank you guys for all your support and the super stickers that you provided to help me with her birthday party. I really appreciate that. And let me show you guys some things. I mean, it's not like the cleanest, but it's better than it was. This room right here was a mess.
got to take Debbie's thing off.
Okay. Let me take the banner off. Okay, so here's her playroom. So I put everything like on around it. That has to go. The car is leaving. So the car is going to somebody else's house because she's too big for it. But I put everything around it, like just stacked it up, because the kids are going to come and play in this room for her birthday.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then I'm going to put her bouncy thing in the middle.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then I just got some few more things to clean up, get the floor together, and get it smelling all good and fresh in the house, and just get a few more things to do. Okay, let me bring this back up.
Judy Bird just gave you some more money.
Well, Judy Bird, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. Let's put some hearts in the chat for Judy Bird for giving Kara some birthday money. She's so excited. She knows what's coming up. Thank you, Judy Bird. Thank you, sweetheart. Put some hearts in the chat for Judy Bird for my super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She could have even teamed up with a high street fashion store. How, Nicole? She's not very good with clothes. Am I wrong? Yeah, she could have. That's a good idea. She could have teamed up with someone.
She's just not popular. Nobody wants to do it. She's just not popular.
She's not popular. She's not popular. She teamed up with that lady with the tea, the mushroom teas, and she thinks that's so successful. You can't tell her anything.
Yeah, but it had lead in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating because they go through employees. They burn through employees.
Yeah,
so
they burn
just
through
lost
employees.
6 employees. And so, and there has also been a tone change in her as ever emails. So if you're on the mailing list, you used to get paragraphs of ooey gooey, like, as I walk through the grass with my bare feet, I feel at one with, like very hippie stuff and very, Meghan Markle's diary. And the last email that went out was very sales focused. It lacked that personality. It lacked that warmth. It was very much like, hey, we're restocking soon, but, get your credit card ready. And so for you to say there's this lack of communication internally and she doesn't know about all of the things that are going on around her, I'm really confident that you're right based on some of those changes that we've seen lately.
Yeah, there has to be, that's a leadership problem, what you're describing there in the entrepreneurial world. So there should be somebody in charge of all of it. Like she should be, as a CEO, in charge of everything, keep an eye on everything that goes out. Before it goes out, let me check it out. Let me make sure it stays with us.
Am I putting mats around the bouncy? No, but it has like it's enclosed. It has a zipper.
Cage. Like,
say it again.
It's got like a cage around it.
Yeah, it's got a net like a cage. So I don't have to put, the only thing I need to do is make sure I zip it up, because if you don't zip it up, they can fall out.
Yeah. Don't forget to let them out though. Keep them in there all day.
Yeah, come on out. Yeah. Hello, Tracy Teach. Yeah, she's a bully. Megan's a bully. And so is Maggie. They're both bullies. They come across as harassing, stalking, bullyish, nasty, just really bullyish. Talks nasty and down on you.
Yeah, she does. Penelope agrees.
Hi, Penelope.
She agrees. Say hi. Wow.
Yeah, 5 minutes in and it will be chaos with crumbs all over the place. Yeah, I'm cleaning the house. It's really getting there, okay? And by this weekend, it should be done. Hopefully. We have several my bathroom and my master bedroom is not working. I was going to get that fixed before they came, but I haven't done that on the list. But there's other bathrooms that they can use upstairs. They don't have to use mine. And there's one down here too. There's a guest bathroom, and then there's 3 bathrooms upstairs. So they got plenty of bathrooms. I don't necessarily need to get that, like, rush and get that done this week, because I let it creep up on me. I'm just getting a whole new bathroom, a whole new toilet. Just purchasing a new one. It was in here when I bought the house.
Oh, you'll be there's plenty. There'll be plenty there.
Exactly, because I was concerned if I needed to have that working, But there's plenty of room. There's plenty of other rooms that they can use and shower if they need to. Yes, it's a mesh cage. It's mesh. Yeah, it's huge. She's in it, jumping. Can barely see it here. Catch. There it is.
Oh, we see her in there. Take snowdrops. Comments up. Yeah, that's safe.
Yeah, there it is.
Just make sure you let them out.
Right. Make sure I let everybody out. Like, where's my child? Get her out. Get her out. So, yeah. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put an end time on the birthday. So there's no end time. People just be here until let's get back to our video. Yeah, she's a bully.
Our brand. That's not what we're seeing. If that many people are leaving, that means there's no leadership there, whether they wanted to leave or they got fired or whatever the reason is. That's a lot of people to go from a company that size, So, and then for things to change that dramatically from here's the feeling says, like, hey, we're selling stuff now, or the stuff's back up, you can go get it, or whatever, however it was worded. That's a leadership problem. Again,
I don't
nobody's
know.
in charge. Nobody's driving the ship.
Snowdrop.
Oh, I believe that so much based on how we've seen all of this unfold over the last few months. When asked what she's currently aspiring for, she responds success, emotional success, happiness. And another point in the interview, she says, my faith is greater than my fear. I believe in myself. I believe in the team around me. I believe in our potential for success. I don't see the possibility of failure, not when you can learn from everything you've done. I mean,
That's immature. That's not a serious business person, because there's always the possibility of failure. And as a CEO, you're watching for that, and you have people watching for that. So that's ridiculous. She's been reading books or something that say you need to be positive, but they don't back it up with anything. You know, a lot of those books, the self-help books, are really great because they'll tell you, they let you know how to think to make things go better, not just for you, but for everybody in your family and around you. But some of those people will just tell you, no matter what happens, just think this, and you won't fail. You won't do this and do that, and they don't back it up with the right information. What she's saying there, you'd never say that out loud as a real CEO.
You're on the mailing list,
even
the elite chick with the crown. It's so noisy in my house. Okay, I'm going in the other room. What was I saying? I don't know. Must not have been important. Uh-oh. What was that? Her little toilet. Anyway.
at Apple, I'm sure the guy in charge over there wouldn't say, no, we're not going to never fail, because at one point this is all going away.
Right.
And so I can't say it won't be. No matter what the company is, the CEO will never say, no, we couldn't say that. If you present him to say this, and you go, no, because what if it goes under? I'm always watching for that. I'm afraid it will always. You know, but I can be confident about it.
My argument is also, though, that she will always have people that will give her a chance because of her proximity to the British royal family, because she's married to Prince Harry. Maybe she really does feel that way. But I have a question. I wonder if you have an opinion on this. I feel like she's slowly getting rid of things that where she can be held accountable. So the podcast, there are podcast charts. Apple can tell you fell out of the top 100 after 2 days of premiering your episode. So she's saying, I don't want to focus on Apple because people can say I'm not succeeding in this venture, in this arena. I'm not, a superstar. So I don't want to do that anymore. It's even as simple as like turning the comments off and the likes off on her Instagram account. So people can't say, oh, look at all the negative comments that were left for Meghan underneath the twerking video. With Netflix, she's in a safe place because Netflix don't give us the analytics of those videos. So we have no clue how many people are watching with Love Meghan. She does not give us the analytics for how many pieces of jam, how many jars.
Yeah, she never told us how much jam she produced and all of that. She never did. So we could assume, oh, okay, you had 50 jars of jam and you sold out in 20 minutes.
Yeah, you got a big super chat there from Stacey.
I did. Stacey. I'm trying to get to it.
Nearly $50, $49.99.
Maybe I shouldn't use the bouncy, because if it's too many in there, it could tip over.
Yeah, just do a couple at a time.
Okay. And they're not going to be in there long because we're going to be swimming. And
yeah.
There's other things going on. Just sometimes when they first get here, they see the toys and want to play with them.
You can put that outside. You can put it outside. So you've got all the kids together.
Yeah, put it outside.
Yeah, so you've got all the kids together, so you don't have to be running in and out rooms.
Okay, exactly. Oh, it gives you heartburn.
Did you see Tracy gave you $49.99?
Tracy, thank you. So glad I caught you on. Oh my God, Tracy. See, Tracy Teach has given Kara $50 for her birthday. Whoa! Thank you so much.
That's so nice.
Very nice. Let's put some hearts in the chat for Tracy. Please, everyone, do that for me. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy, for your generous donation. Thank you so much for your super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. That's going to go on her cake. Her cake is $200. I talked him down. I negotiated everything. I was a negotiating mama.
You can always negotiate. Always.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Tracy. I do appreciate that. She likes wine full of sour grapes. Thank you, Tracy. And thank you, Doodoo Bird, again. Thank you, guys. So awesome.
Of jam she actually sold. She just vaguely says, I sold out. I think she's trying to cover up any places of failure. I think she's trying to cover up any places where she might fall short and staying in lanes that she can stay pretty vague.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Thank you, Tracy.
And again, that's what that personality type would do, try to protect the ego, and everything is great, everything looks fine. And in that sense, she may be the one calling the shots there and say, no, I don't want to do that anymore because it makes me look bad. Then whoever her person is in charge will say, okay, let's get rid of that. Let's not do that anymore. It's out of control. It's just bouncing from one side to the other. So, I think if she could actually zero in and get that laser focus on something, she can actually be a powerful entity, bring herself out of this thing where nobody likes her. A lot of people don't like her. I'm sure a lot of people
Bye,
like her.
Doodoo Bird. Have a great appointment.
I think she could pull herself out of that as well if she would laser focus on what she should be doing. And but you have to get that information from people who are better than you, smarter than you.
That's a lot.
It is a lot because Walmart only charges you like $20 to $30 for a cake. But I didn't go to Walmart. I went to this lady. She's really good. She's making it all animated.
Lovely.
Yeah, all animated in Paw Patrol, like with bones and little creatures. I'm definitely going to post a whole bunch of pictures on Discord and also yeah. And I may go live that day, guys.
We can sing a happy birthday.
Yes. Yeah, I think I picked chocolate and strawberry.
Nice.
Chocolate, and I like strawberry. Is there weed in that cake, Kim? No, unfortunately not. The reason why I didn't do the cake at Walmart is because it was kind of bland, it wasn't as elaborate as this cake is going to be. Yeah.
Oh, it's their birthday. Let her have a nice cake.
She's kind of excited about the cake, too. She notices the cake because it's always something. I should post some other pictures from previous birthday parties. Okay, let's get back to...
We're better at that than you?
Actually, it's more than 200. It's 220.
And the narcissist has a hard time doing that.
You're right. Okay, final question.
I think I'm going to go ahead and get my makeup done, though. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my hair over. It's going to be gray this time. I'm going with gray.
Gray suits you better.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to gray and get my nails done, my makeup done. That's going to cost a lot. Just me getting ready.
Yeah. It's once a year. You gave birth to her. Let you treat yourself a little bit too.
Exactly. I'm loving that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love getting my makeup done too. Welcome from South Florida. South Florida. Woo. Yeah, cake is 200. The photographer is only 200. I talked her down. Yeah, it's a child. Yummy cake a do. Yeah, the cake is normally really good. She does a good job on the ambiance, and she does a good job on the flavor. But I would love for you guys to share that day with us a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be lovely.
Mm-hmm. Since you guys helped fund it, for sure. Yes, I will show some pictures of, I may just post someone from previous, but I'm going to go live on that day and just walk you guys around for a little bit from the outside to the inside. And then I will post some pictures afterwards.
You've been so generous with your time. Thank you. Twerking video and social media. She says it feels liberating. Well, first of all, I like your reaction when she goes, "Did you see my baby mama video?" She's like really proud of it. And I don't know if that's authentic or not. She says it feels liberating to be back on social media. It was a great way for me to get my voice back. Scott, she's had freedom from the.
Where did your voice go? She always keeps talking
about it didn't go anywhere.
I'm glad to get my voice back. It's like a talking point for her. Your voice was never gone. You've been over here for 50 years, and it was never gone when you were over there. You could speak. Get my voice back.
Nothing's ever her fault. It's never her responsibility.
She had like she was in a cage or something, Demon Dictator.
Jesus, she's done Oprah Winfrey, Netflix, a book, never-ending podcast, Lemonada.
Yeah.
She's never shut up. Where's her voice gone? We want her voice to go. Bloody hell, give us a break.
Yeah, and every time you say something, it's the same thing, and it's not interesting. You're boring.
She doesn't make sense when she speaks. She doesn't have anything to say.
Right, Dictator. And chick with the crown. Yeah, she's been talking nonstop. Non-freaking stop about nothing, though. She's an Adele.
British royal family for 5 years. Where has her voice been? Get out of here. And then it's my space and my channel for joy. That is the intention of my channel. Whereas I think a lot of us would go, well, actually, we feel like you're monetizing your children. But okay, if you say it's just a channel for joy, what was your reaction when she goes, "Did you see my baby mama video?"
That's the way you get rid of all the things that have happened and people have said. Like she's like, I think it's kind of goofy too. So once you call it and say, I see what that is, then that's supposed to make it go away. You can do that when you're having an interrogation. We use that quite often when someone will, as you begin the interrogation, they'll say, well, I did so and so and so and so. You call that out before they say that.
She can talk about being authentic all day long. She is, like you said, somebody's whispered something in her ear. It feels like she's very scripted, and it's her. I feel like it's her and Harry against the world, and they're trying to sell us, you know, there are a couple that are not as genuine as they want us to believe they are.
Yeah, and generally the way I see things are, and this may sound horrible, but people who use the term class usually have none, and people who say they're being authentic aren't. They use the term authentic when I'm being authentic. Well, being authentic is you being that way all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
That's the way you are. And so that's why we don't feel that connection with her, because there's nothing to connect with there.
There's nothing to connect.
She wants to think she's being authentic, which is what she.
There's nothing to connect there.
Nothing.
It's just empty. It's just an empty lot. It's empty. It's really shameful that she can't connect. It's really sad.
South Park, they got it right. It's like South Park when they opened her head. There's nothing there. Absolutely spot on.
There. It's empty. She's empty. She is shallow as hell. That's right, Kim. Emotionally bankrupt. I like those words.
She was trying to do that video, and she thought she was.
Have to apologize. She sounds so pretty.
You know, showing her doing that in a hospital room was to make her look authentic, because really seeing the real her and all that.
Yeah,
didn't work.
That was
but
not authentic.
Call
she didn't
that out
to anyone
by saying
teenagers are not getting down with her 40-year-old self, talking about go Meghan, get your twerk on. No, you're not relatable, and you're geographic. People at 40 ain't getting down like that, hiking up their skirt and going down. Oh, you do not have to apologize. And if they are doing it, they're doing it behind closed doors.
What did you think about my goofy, the stupid thing I did? Because I know it's stupid too. Not just we all think it's stupid.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. So it sort of gets rid of. She's trying to get rid of the goofiness of it, but I don't think it took.
Well, is she trying to get rid of the cruel, what she would say is cruel commentary around it, where, there were people like Piers Morgan that was like, what an embarrassment, God love Piers. But, Piers Morgan was like, what an embarrassment to the British royal family. Is she trying to soften it by saying, oh, look at how fun I am. It was just fun. I'm not trying to embarrass the British royal family. Is that what she was, was she trying to embrace it that way by going, did you see that? Did you see my video? I'm proud of it.
She's proud of it.
I don't see it that way. I think that's a tactic to get rid of to say, I understand what happened. I get it too. And I knew that's what, it would be this way. That's the way I see it anyway. Yeah, because that went really bad for her. Everybody talked about it. Everybody, we all did.
Yeah.
And I'm not even in that world. And I was like, oh, look at this. And, so that's her way of trying to get rid of it because she had to do something that's damage control. It might have been the only reason she did this interview.
Wow. Because the woman says, the woman says, what timing? When she brings up the video, she goes, Emma says, that's a very good point. And that would immediately stop the conversation really around the twerking video, because she's given us, like you just said here, and talked about 20 different topics that she talked about. So it really does change the narrative. And the host makes a point to say what timing that video came out around this interview. Like, that's convenient. Did any more takeaways before I let you go? Anything that stood out to you?
Just that if you're interested in narcissism, and I'm not trying to be funny, watch this video because you're seeing all the hallmarks of a narcissist in there. When things try to butt up against what she's saying or go against her, you can see her bow up just a little bit. It's nothing huge, but you can see the intricacies of those interactions happen right there. Not in the Jamie Kern Lima one, because she's just doing that. We talked about why. But in this situation, there's a real entrepreneur, what looked like to me a real entrepreneur, talking to her about what she's supposed to know about. She doesn't.
Okay.
So she's protecting her ego there. So watch the things she does. Watch when she laughs. Watch how quickly she answers when it's something that she really wants to get out quickly.
Oh, you like that,
That's
Harry.
the important part as well. There'll be a rhythm as you watch these interviews. And when the rhythm of them answering speeds up, that means they either thought about that question, then have an answer prepared, or it really bothers them. They want to make sure to get that out really quickly to make that, even though it's nanoseconds you're talking about, their brain wants to get rid of the negative part of that situation, scene, or conversation as quickly as it can. And that's why they speed up like that. So watch for that rhythm and watch for the rhythm to change, because it'll speed up and it'll slow down back to normal when they're supposedly authentic. I think that Emma was being more authentic than Meghan was. I don't think we've actually seen the real her. We have seen the real her, but we haven't seen her, the real person in there.
We haven't.
Person.
All right, behavior and body language expert Scott Rouse. I'll link your YouTube page in the description. You're my favorite body language expert in the whole wide world.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was I authentic when I said that?
Yes, you were. I'm going to share with all my friends.
All right, thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Really great. I enjoyed that. Broke it down. Let's do proper wise guy. We're behind on his content, but and check his page out. He's great. He's funny. Let's do one of those, and then I'll let you guys go. How about that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see where we are in the scheme of things. Okay, we're here.
All right, folks, what's going on, everybody? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, got a huge show here. Very big show. This is another breakdown of something that the operative, known as the Dark Markle, Meghan Markle, the Scheist, the Meist, the Sharkly, the Markley, the Meganator 5000. Oh, please, what about me? Nobody bitches me any longer.
You have no balls.
Please, what do I got to do? Go to Ukraine or something? Maybe I need to go to Iran. Maybe that'll... hello, Iran? Yes, I would love to see if you'd like to Invictus Games. What's that? You guys are busy? Oh, all right. Well, listen, let's set something up maybe later down this week. What do you think?
Yeah, we do.
Folks, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I'm getting too good at spotting her nonsense. I have figured out, can you guys guess the game that we are playing right now? Can you guess the game that we are playing right at the moment? Right at what you're looking at?
I'm playing dumb.
The game, folks, is to spot something that she clearly wants to hide. And I'm going to break it down for you, baby. Right here, right now. let's get into this.
Hey, Rachel, Meghan Markle. Let me get the music off. He's got a whole thing going on with her.
That horse blanket she was wearing.
Yeah. She looks lost. Oh, what a moment in time, Harry. Oh.
Bitches, like, I wasn't being, oh my god, how do I say this? I wasn't being thrown to the wolves. They like,
Oh God.
Thrown to the wolves and fed to the wolves is exactly the same thing. She said, I wasn't being thrown to the wolves, I was being fed to the wolves.
I was being fed to the wolves. Mm-hmm.
Exactly the same thing.
Oh, awesome. See Tracy teach. Oh, okay. Let's get back to it.
First class ticket if she keeps this up. I don't even know if I could be associated with her.
I'm going to show you something that she is trying to hide. And yet I am uncovered. I'm telling you, she's getting sloppy. She's getting sloppy.
Uh-oh.
Listen, she's definitely not going to get a first class ticket if she keeps this up. I don't even know if I could be associated with her anymore. I mean, I love white ladies. Even when they're looking at me on the first class trade.
First of all, what in the hell is going on? Folks, how could you be so bad? Tell me this lady's not funded. Tell me this lady's not an operative. Come on, you cannot be this bad. The day before her big stupid launch or relaunch or whatever, her new stuff, her crap comes out. She's on this dumb podcast. By the way, Emma Grenadine here. 0 on the pushbacko. Okay? Zippo. All right? And Skims, no offense. If I was Spanx, I'd be like, they're like, well, we cut the, oh my God, I gotta do Kim. You know what? I would drop the lawsuit. I'd be like, you know what, Your Honor, forget it. I can't even listen to that voice. Forget it. Just drop it. Let them have it. Let them have their bullshit. She wants to cut one leg off the Spanx. Fine. Give it to him. Oh my God, it's so unique. We cut off one arm or we cut off one leg and it makes it so unique. So first of all, Scheissmeis cannot get her story straight whatsoever. By the way, Emma Grenadine here, all right? I don't know. I'm telling you, what is with these people? Why would you even associate? She's with the Kardashians and all this shit. She's already got a winning brand. All right. She's already got she's loaded. Her husband's loaded. They're all, they're fine. What is she bothering with this nonsense? I'm telling you, they're all in the same circle of nonsense.
Okay.
But anyways,
too many.
So here we're on the podcast, right? Both have pantsuits on. Weird, right? You're both wearing pantsuits. Listen, I'm going to tell you something here, right? I'm not going to
show the kids during the live.
And this was
No, Michelle. I'm not going to show the kids during the live. I'm going to just show it before everyone gets here. Yeah, I'm just going to show that because I don't want to put their kids on camera, but I will be posting some pictures of like the cake and the other stuff for her party on there, and a few pictures of Kara in her birthday outfit. Oh God, if I could interview him, that would be great, wouldn't it? He probably says no to me. I can't afford him. Cordelia. He is hilarious.
A long time ago, and it had a, I don't even want to mention the guy's name, but it had a very popular YouTuber who's not so popular anymore. And he's kind of like he talks about like whatever, it doesn't even matter. Anyways, my point is this. He showed up to the podcast wearing a beanie, okay? And the other guy who was the host was wearing, those idiots that are wearing beanies. Like it could be July in Las Vegas and they're at the pool, they got a beanie on, it's like their thing. So both of them had a beanie on, all right? And it was like the one guy showed up, he's wearing a beanie. He thought he was gonna be like the cool beanie guy. And the other guy sitting there hosting the show has a freaking beanie on. It was so hysterical.
Outfit is decent on her. Can we all agree on that? This outfit Meghan's wearing right here, it's kind of nice. You can't go wrong with a pantsuit. But she can. She can get it wrong.
And no, it's not. I'm not talking about Tim Pool, if that's what you're thinking about. No. Although he is Captain Beanie, no offense. Anyways. So we're getting okay. So here we go. So they both have pantsuits on. Okay, they're sitting here. Right, listen to this shit, and I'm gonna break down the Sharkles big scam here. Okay, so here we go.
Well, we can restart.
Oh, she's got the voice on too. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the situation I'd like to explain to you.
I mean, the voice is never the same. She's never the same. The hair is never the same. Anyways,
what we had at those same quantities, but then I'll have another sellout.
Oh my God. And then what happened an hour later?
Sellout. Yeah.
And I don't want that for people. I think scarcity is great.
I don't want that for people. Bitch, you just sold out. You just sold out. Okay, please.
It happens organically at the onset. But
here's the other thing too. Let's hypothetically, let's just say you sold out and you had all this hype around all this shit. Wouldn't you at least, like, I don't know, say, hey, let's cash in on this. Maybe this stupid ass idea is something.
Yeah.
Strike while the, but by the way, this should be if she writes a book, it should be how to not strike when the iron is hot. When they first came over here, right? Oh my God, everybody's kissing their ass. Everybody's blowing smoke. Everything they touch turns a Midas touch. Everybody wants a piece of them. Spotify, Netflix, I mean, the books, everything, right? People can't get enough of them. They're talking at the UN. H is like, oh, have you ever been battered? Hey, everybody, what's going on? I love fish and chips. Anybody been battered? Listen, they're all this hype around them, right? She writes the stupidest book. I mean, they don't, and then they sit on their ass. They literally sit on their ass for years. She talks about doing Goop. We talked about that for 3 years. You're talking to Gwyneth Paltrow and wanting to start Goop and a new fucking thing. The whole thing. These two idiots do not do shit. All of a sudden, it's the laughing stock of the world now. He's the laughing stock of the world. She's the laughing stock of the world. The butt of every joke. Now it's like, she's like, and she still can't strike. People actually want to buy this bullshit, and she's still not striking. I mean, that should be the Scheist. You can take this, all right, hon. I've given you so many ideas that could have already set you up for life. But anyway, take this, Sugar Bear. All right, how to strike when the iron is not hot. That will be the title of her memoir. I guarantee it. And she should follow up that with a part 2. How to marry a broken man, or how to allure a broken man with money.
At a certain point, even being consumer minded, I would be fatigued if that kept happening.
Yes,
and
I would be fatigued. Bitch, we are fatigued. We're fatigued.
We are
going to
fatigued.
website. So I said, okay, let's take this opportunity to grow.
She really grew. Oh my God. So we went from 100 jars of jam, we up to 10. I'm at 100 and oh my God, where's Kern Lima? I've got 4 body cells right now.
To have exponentially more SKUs.
Exponentially more SKUs. Bitch, you threw in an apricot. An apricot. Okay. Exponentially more SKUs. She used extra califragilisticexpialidocious here. More SKUs. And this is what this yacht comes up with? Get out of my, stop it. With this pantsuit on and the Peaky Blinders thing and the 49 extensions here. Come on.
As well as more inventory.
It is.
Oh my God, what's with the nose?
What extension?
Honey, please. Why don't you do ads for Coca-Cola? Okay, everything goes better. You know, have a Coke and a smile.
And that's what we've been doing. We went right
it draws so much attention to that schnoz.
Back to making sure we could scale up to that level.
Oh, she really scaled it up. Oh my
Yeah.
God, so we're,
Like she
listen to this,
really
bitch.
put it up
Okay.
there.
I'm gonna throw in one more jar of stupid ham with a keepsake box.
Yeah.
Folks, have you ever bought
what are you
food
gonna
and
do
had a
with it?
keepsake of anything that you were like, oh my God, I gotta keep this?
Yeah.
Oh my God, my hot sauce came in this bottle. My Tapatio. By the way, I mentioned the hot sauce the other day. What I like, it's Tapatio, baby. All right, I'll settle for Cholula. You know what? I'll go for basically anything they got at the restaurant, but my go-to would be Tapatio. You can get a gallon of it at Walmart for like 99 cents. Well, it's probably $1.50 now, maybe $3 now.
She
but
will never
you
be
get the drift.
Catherine.
But no calories. No calories. I do like some sriracha, but that's got 1 gram of sugar per spoonful or whatever, or pour whatever. It's like gram or whatever the hell it is. Anyway, it's got too much sugar, but I love sriracha too. Okay, I'm a big sriracha person, but it's got too much sugar, baby.
A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. I don't do it, ladies. I just don't do it.
And have the quality meet the quantity.
Have the quality meet the quantity. Just sell your just bitch, get your booze bag. Okay. Just come out and say I'm just gonna sell booze. I just want to sell booze to winos and lushes. Listen, I love drinking. I love oh my God, Gemma, whatever the hell you I don't even know your stupid name. I
think she fell out with him.
Day drinking.
She manages to fall out with all of them.
Oh my God, when I roll out of bed and roll right in.
She fell out with who?
The photographer.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow.
She manages to fall out with all of them in the end at some point.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone. Well, she's that bully.
So a nice glass of like rosé.
Uh-oh.
Up his voice. Now, first of all, okay, this is the game we're gonna play here. All right, you ready for the game? Here's the game. What is she doing here? Okay, what game are we playing here? That's the thing you got to figure out. Okay, I'm gonna play the whole thing once, and then we're gonna play the game. Here we go.
We spent so much time making sure we had so much more.
You know, I mute it because it doesn't even really matter what she says. But we're gonna play the game. What game is she playing here, folks? Do 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 do.
She looks like she's crying.
I have no idea how long this is. You know,
she looks like she's crying.
She looks like she's high. Is that what you said, Dictator?
So when you have the no sound on, she looks like she's crying. She looks like she's upset when there's no sound on.
All right, this is gonna take way too long. Anyways, let me get back here. Come on, cut the hooey. You folks are
did sound duress.
Busy. I know that. Listen, I'm not here to finagle your time. Let's get into this. All right, here we go. Come on, Shice, bring it home. Okay, first of all, folks, the reality is this: nobody takes a video of themselves with a close-up that you can. If I was an ophthalmologist, I could do a retina scan here on her. Okay, please, a little too close, bitch. Okay, come on, play it.
We spent so much time making sure we had so much more in.
So my God, what happened to the big deep your balls drop voice on Gemma, whatever the hell, Grenadine, Greedy. Her name is Greedy, for crying out loud. Greedy.
Inventory. That's why we took the time, and you guys are doing it again.
Like, you assholes. I mean, God, you stupid bitches. I can't believe it.
Blamed us? Dictator, did you see how she blamed us?
No, you did it again. You did it again.
You did it again. It's your fault. It's all your fault. It's not your fault that you didn't make enough.
You keep buying my stuff. It's your fault. Why do you keep doing that? Why do you keep buying my stuff and selling out? It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Leave some for something else. Leave some for something else. Lunatic.
Don't order my stuff. You guys did it again. Shoot, you're making me have to restock. Shoot, you're making me have to work. You're making me have to do stuff. It's really a weird comment.
Come on, play it.
We spent so much time making sure we had so much more in.
So my God, what happened to the big deep your balls drop voice on Emma?
You did not spend a lot of time trying to make sure you had enough inventory. If you did, you would have had enough. You usually do more than enough to make sure you have enough. If anything, you want some left over.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. She's not making sense. Well, I have to get the Meghan tea from you, Letitia. I didn't know she's been misbehaving for a while. Yes, she has. I'll get caught up with your videos. Yes, and if you have any questions, just let us know. Right now, we're talking about her narcissism, how narcissistic she is, and she is all about herself for the most part, and then she likes to manipulate and blame others for the things that she failed to do. Like, it's our fault she didn't stock enough because we made it sold out. I know it's supposed to be a joke, but it's not. It's really not a joke. She's serious. You guys, you bought all the products, and we went through extreme measures to make sure we had enough. She's lying. Extreme measures would be excessive, more than enough. Yep, Marshawn, she's playing feel sorry for me. Look at me, feel sorry for me. Maggie does that too. Feel sorry for me. I'm going through, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. If you guys notice, I try not to bring anything personal like that, like, oh God, I'm doomed, or, like victimness.
It's a bit of, it's called false modesty. So it's, oh my God, my stuff is so amazing. You keep buying it. Oh no, it's, you did it again. You keep buying my stuff. My stuff is so amazing. It's false modesty. She's got about 5 jars. She's got about 5 women jars of it. Then no wonder it's selling out.
Right. I went through extreme measures. Well, Tracy Teach. Yeah, Harry has lost the plot, unfortunately, because he's allowed her to do most of this.
He's the same. He's the same as her.
He's a traitor. He betrayed it. He betrayed the queen. He betrayed his family. He let her call her family. He let her call his family racist. She's done a lot of bad things, and he's allowed her to do it. All 3 jars are gone.
Gemma, whatever the hell. Green. Greedy. Her name is Greedy, for crying out loud. Greedy.
Inventory. That's why we took the time, and you guys are doing it again.
Like, you assholes. Oh my God, you stupid bitches. I can't believe it. Oh my God. What business person would ever say this?
Yeah.
What business person in their right mind would say this?
Who would say that? What business person would say, you guys did it again? You made me sell out. I went through extreme lengths to make sure we had enough. But no, we don't have enough because you guys took it all. What am I going to do? I can't even work with you guys because you keep taking all my product. It's weird. She doesn't know anything about business.
Somebody that is 100% full of shit. That's who would say this.
Inventory. That's why we took the time, and you guys are doing it again.
You guys, these sons of bitches are
Make
buying
it
this
rain,
crap.
make it
First of all,
rain.
who are you? Who's stupid enough to buy this
You're
crap?
dirty out.
Oh my God, you can get a gallon of Smuckers for like $1. What are you doing?
We're nearly sold out on everything, and I
I love her eyebrows and her everything moves, and she's got the facial features, and it's just like a puppet.
can't believe it. Even flowers.
How? First of all, do you guys know what game we're playing yet? This is the question. Not the Find the Adam's apple. Not the Let's Dig for Gold game. Nope, we're not playing those games. Do you know what I'm playing yet?
Sprinkles, which I knew was going to be the big one again. So that has more inventory than all of it. And that's all.
Flower spray. Fuck, it's dead freaking flowers. You grind them up. How hard is it to find dead flowers?
So about to sell out. So I was looking at my iMessage and I thought,
Are you seeing this? Are you seeing it? It's coming into Zoom here.
okay.
What? Okay, remember, folks. Oh, here we are. This is perfect. All right, the game has begun, folks. There is a reason she angles everything with her camera. because she's always hiding something. First of all, nobody takes a stupid video of themselves this close. Okay, this is tarred on a whole nother tarred level. Okay, no, I mean her face is out of it's her mouth. It's her. I mean, what is going on here? This is like somebody that's trying to disguise themselves. This is a 60 Minutes interview with a witness. Okay, and then so here's what I'm showing you. She doesn't have her hair done. This is the reality. Okay, and she has it. Her face is so cropped out that you can't see her melon, her hair, because it's just all back in a bun here. It's back in a ponytail. She didn't have time to do her hair before she did her little video. Okay, so now if you get a little bit here, now you can start seeing the real. Oh, on Emma Grenadine here. Oh, it was so thick, and oh my God, please, she looked like she was making. Look how thinned out this shit is right here. Okay, then she zooms in on this. This is where the
oh, you see the hair.
Holy shit, man. Oh my God. I can't believe I did this. First of all, how stupid is this? She shows people the iPhone thing that's confetti. I don't know. Really thick. Who gives a shit? Oh my God, I didn't realize they look like the same thing. I'm so silly. Meanwhile, I bet you didn't imagine that people would be zooming in on this melon right here. This is what the melon, look, the hair's all pulled back. And this is nothing but melon. Look at the sun hitting that thing. Look at the size of that. Holy shit. Holy shit. Her and H are having the same pattern rolling here. Honey, please don't do this again. This is bad. This is real bad. Look at this. First of all, so she's filming herself on one device. Maybe it's a camera. Who knows? Maybe it's another phone. Knowing her, she's got 12 burner phones. Anyways, she's like, oh my God, what agency is this? I'm so sorry. Yes, this is Dark Markle. What can I do for you, please? And then she's filming herself here. Okay, I don't see what she's holding though. Is she holding another phone? It's hard to see what she's shooting with. I don't know. But looks like there's something in front of her eye, but it doesn't even matter. The point is this: she's hiding. Look, all her hair's pulled back in a bun, and you could just see this right here. Holy, oh please, Banksy, listen. It started happening to me when I was a very young man. All right, and you're getting old now. You're an old man, and it's just going to happen, Megsy. All right, it's part of life. You got to deal with it.
I love this feature.
I love this feature.
And I
like what a limp. This is a. I don't know. Oh, this is longer than this. What a limp way to distract or deflect from you not having enough product. You know what I mean? She's just like, oh my God, look at this stupid iPhone feature that's been around for 100 years. Yes, is my brand allegedly fake? What about this iPhone feature? What do you think about this, kids? Huh? TikTok? Anybody? Does anybody like this? What do you think? Look at that melon. All right. So this is the hide the melon game, folks. Okay. So when she does this means she didn't have her squad. No, Daniel. Daniel was stupid. Daniel probably came over and cut himself with a cereal spoon. He was like, "Oh my God, Daniel, please, your fingers are all jacked up. You can't do my hair now." Thinking, I don't do hair. I just do makeup. Oh my God, where's my wig person? So this is the reason for the eyeball retina scan and the dental exam here. What is this? Anyways, folks. So that's the game, folks. Okay. So I caught you on your heels. Okay. I caught you on your heels. All right, Yach. And I caught you on your hiding the melon game. Okay. I'm getting too good at this, folks. I'm getting too good at her dumb camera angles. All right. Listen, I might be available to be hired for the right price. Okay. I don't the right price. Maybe we could talk a little turkey. Listen, bottom line is this: who loves you? All right. You guys have a great day. All right. Hope you had fun.
Who loves you, baby? You're beautiful.
Give him a thumbs up. That was great.
That was good. Funny.
Him out. Yeah, on his channel. Proper Wise Guy. I'm going to put his link in the description. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you, Snowdrop is on it.
She's a great mod.
Yes, isn't she awesome?
Great mod.
Thank you so much, Snowdrop, for giving me that. I want to find out who the winner is for the most stars. Let's see who the winner is. Okay, top fan is Demon Dictator.
Woo!
Yay! Woohoo! Snowdrop, you're number 2.
Woo!
And JBC, you're number 3. Woo!
Well done.
For the winners. Yay!
Well done. Chatterboxes.
That came in 4th, 5th, and 6th. Cordelia is number 4. Chick with the Crown is number 5. Nicola is number 6. A is number 7. And I think I got Kim at number 8. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Listen, I want to thank Snowdrop so much for her hard work and everything she does. She's a great moderator. I love you, Snowdrop. Thank you so much. I also want to say, have a great day, great evening, great morning, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Dictator, thank you for your time.
It's okay.
It.
I'm going to drink wine now. So I'm not available for a couple of hours.
What flavor?
White wine, Chardonnay, my favorite.
Okay, okay. And she's getting a rose wine. Megan is making a rose wine, right?
Yeah, I like rosé, but I'm not going to try hers unless it's free. No, thank you.
Okay, you're out of M&Ms. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day. Kisses to you all. Mwah. Thank you. I may come back tonight. If I do, we're going to catch up with the Diddy stuff and we'll do more Proper Wise Guy, see what he's up to. Love you guys.
See you all. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for my super chats and super stickers.